Elon Musk's move to buy Twitter has raised a lot of questions, one of which is what is and is not censorship. Our guest today shares her insight. Joining me now is Karen Wilkre. She is a senior advisor to the Brunswick Group and a board member for the News Literacy Project. She's joining me now from San Francisco, California. Thanks so much for being with us.
Hey, Andy. Thank you for having me.
You also served as the editorial director at Twitter, a company that's been making some pretty significant headlines in the last few weeks with Elon Musk's proposed acquisition. When it comes to free speech and censorship-related issues, it's raised a lot of questions about what exactly that is. So can you tell us a little bit about what you see happening here?
Yeah, it's been quite a ride for people watching Twitter or who pay attention to Twitter for the last few weeks because of this. And I will say, although I'm a former employee, I haven't worked there for 6 years. I'm not in touch with any executives, mostly former colleagues who have left. And we're all scratching our heads as to what this might mean, with some concern, I would add. Because Elon Musk has shown himself to be a wild card in many areas, some leading to great new groundbreaking products, and some in this case, like Twitter, which is a software platform that's for user-generated content, completely different world than one he knows. So we're not sure. I'm not sure what he has in mind or what he means or how this would work or how a now private company would work. Would everything be at his whim? Would there be a puppet CEO? There are a million questions and lots of speculation, as you've probably seen. So I don't know. I'm concerned because I'm a fan of Twitter, the platform.
There are all these questions about if he's going to let back the former president on the platform and what that means and the precedent that sets, given that he facilitated or he called for an insurrection on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, which is what prompted that whole thing in the first place. So in terms of what is censorship and what isn't censorship, where do things like this fall on that?
Well, so all of the platforms that, let's say, YouTube and Facebook, obviously, and LinkedIn to some extent, anything that where ordinary people can contribute content, all have terms of service that covers very broadly how people can and should behave on the respective platforms. So the removing Donald Trump was not a question of censorship. It was a question of his breaking the very broadly based terms of service of Twitter by essentially encouraging his followers to go to the Capitol and, do damage. In the name of liberty, in his view. So that was over the line for Twitter. And most of the platforms have very broad terms of service, and Twitter does, for this reason. It's not a question of we don't like what you're saying or we disagree with you, the individual, because that obviously is really goes against the First Amendment and is also fraught with problems just in terms of who the we is in terms of company management. So for Musk to do that, he'd have to not just make a decision. I don't think he'd have to revamp the terms of service. And that would invite not only Mr. Trump back, if in fact he wants to come, we don't know. He's said no so far. But also it would invite lots of other bad behavior and bad actors to kind of have a field day.
Karen Wilkre, thanks so much for being with us.
Of course. Thank you.